Well, good morning, morning, morning. I was on Facebook first this morning. No, I'm not cheating on the YouTubers, but I've got such a large audience that listens to me that I usually start with Facebook and then I come up and I say basically the same thing here as I do on Facebook, but it's a cloudy morning here in Florida. It's really strange. You don't usually see cloudy days in Florida unless you got a thunderstorm coming. But anyways, this is the old Mena, and you can call me Gordon Bradley. It's up to you. A lot of people say, "Why do you call yourself the old?" It's not old. It's OLE. The old Mena. Well, that's because I'm from Maine. All right. I haven't even read my comments yet up here because I figured they were probably about the same as Facebook. I was very surprised. I was telling Facebook, I was so surprised at all of the. I thought I felt something funny this morning, and it was all the knife wounds in my back. Folks, you need to know something. I'm going to try to clarify it again. I am nobody. I am no pastor. I am no um, prophet. All I am is a man who likes to get on here and tell people just in case they haven't heard of certain things, which it sounds like a lot of people don't hear and see what I do. So I just tell them, maybe you could say like a reporter in a way, maybe. But most importantly, I like to talk about Christ because that's our only hope. And a lot of people, they'll turn just like that. I lose people as soon as I mention the word God, boom, gone. But you know what? I'm never going to because that's what we're here for, to spread the word of God till he comes back. Now, my title today was Donald Trump. Well, I didn't say Donald Trump, but basically, Trump has several more paths to win. I mean, just because Texas was thrown out, everybody goes, "Ah!" Well, anyways, before I get going, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up for what you like, what you hear. That would be nice. It makes me feel better, helps me out. But folks, I can't believe how little faith there really is. I was telling them back down on faith, Facebook, what I can understand why God says this in the Bible. He says when he returns, he'll be surprised to see just how much faith is left. And this is absolutely nothing what we're going through. And just because there's a little setback here or there, people think it's all over. Look, you don't have the mind of God. You have no clue what he is doing. None whatsoever. But I'm going to I wrote some things down this morning. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I I did know that I had this peace come over me last night. After I heard about Texas's lawsuit being thrown out, it was just this peace come over me. It's like everything's going to be fine, which it will be because God's in control. And then this morning I get up and I was listening to Dutch Sheets. You ever heard of him? He's a good man. He really is. And I want to mention some of the things that he said. There's not many. Most of this is all me, what I wrote this morning, but it really is something we all need to hear. I want to thank you, Dutch, for being a true light during this time and the things you that you mentioned that you tell us. It really helps. Now, last night, like I told you, I felt a peace with what the Supreme Court did. A lot of people were throwing knives at me saying, "Oh, the only reason why he's coming on this morning," I'm not going to get into it. I don't need to because the Antichrist spirit is alive and well in a lot of people that listen to me, and I know that now. I knew it before, but what I saw earlier this morning, whatever. Well, now I know why the Supreme Court did what they did, because President Trump still has several pathways to victory. Now, excuse me, I said this last night before this, and I know we still haven't heard from President Trump's lawsuit. We haven't heard about the lawsuit of Pennsylvania that's still active. We haven't heard about Georgia. They haven't settled. We haven't heard about Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, all of them. They're still active. There's several ways this man, Donald Trump, can still stay in office. If we pray enough, God will hear and he will answer. Now, we don't have to worry. Like I said, we just have to keep praying. And you will hear me say that a lot this morning. Now, losing is, it's not in the cards, okay? Uh, in this presidential race for President Trump. Just remember that. It's not in the cards. Just because things happen the way they do, not the way we thought they would, doesn't mean President Trump is going to lose. You know that so many people have put their lives on the line in telling the truth on what they have seen in this election. They've been getting threats, death threats, threats against their family, and yet they still went forward. Do you really think that they would do that if they were lying? And besides, if they've signed an affidavit lying, it's not jail. You go to prison. God has seen all of these people, and I don't believe they have done this for nothing. I'll never believe that. No way. We have no idea what God is doing, but I believe I know what God will do soon. Show that President Trump is the victor of this 2020 presidential election. Just stop for a moment. Just for a moment. Think of all the consequences of a Biden win. Oh, seriously. It is so grave that I won't even mention what all will happen under his presidency. I won't. But it will be a huge victory for Satan. I will say that. That's why I believe that God will show his hand soon that Trump has won. I think he kind of has to. Well, God don't have to do anything, but I think he will because he loves us. I believe a Biden win will be almost as bad as the tribulation. Although God tells us about the tribulation, it's going to be horrible. God doesn't tell us all just how absolutely horrible it will be. But I can tell you what, I bet a Biden term will be pretty close. You know what I mean? God says he will keep the Christians from that hour, and I believe that God will keep us from a Biden win. I believe a Biden win will be almost as bad. Well, I already said that. You know, if we do stop praying, we can't stop praying. We may have a bad upcoming year ahead if we stop praying, or an upcoming 4 years. Don't stop praying. But if we continue to pray, we will see more great Trump times ahead. Now, don't forget that. As Dutch Sheets has said this morning, and like I said, I really love listening to him. He's got that smooth, calming voice. It makes you want to listen. Not like the old Mana, but anyways, nothing has changed. Nothing. The only thing that has changed is maybe the way we thought God was going to do things. Just what I said to you all last night. Please do not doubt that God will give us Trump for another 4 years. Look, I've been thinking about it myself of how many, whether you believe them or not, I do. I believe in prophets. How many prophets have said that Trump will win and will be put in for a second term? I don't remember. I know God says beware of false prophets. I go by what I feel in my heart, and a lot of the times I try to check out their records to see just how well they've performed in their what they say God has told them. Everyone still is saying Trump is going to win. So that is something that's pretty awesome. Do not lose your faith. If you do, we may lose America forever. And that is something that you cannot do. Do not lose your faith. Now, you have to believe that God will do his mighty work in this election. If you do, he will. And we will have the assurance of many good nights' sleep, knowing that Donald Trump is in charge of America because of God. Now, I want you to listen. God knew what was coming in this election, and he has a perfect plan for the outcome. But naturally, we all freak out when something bad goes wrong, or this don't go this way. He's going to lose. It's all over. Gordon lied. I don't know. I haven't lied. I just report what I see, what I hear, what it. Sometimes I put in my feelings, my beliefs, but I'm still coming on here if he wins or loses, because I haven't done anything but try to help, and that's all I've ever tried to do, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. All right. God has a perfect plan for the outcome. It has President Trump winning this year, but God wants to see just how bad you want to keep the good times in America going. Now, to show him, you must do this. You show God by continuing to pray, and I mean pray, like you've never prayed before, for President Trump and America. Satan wants America and President Trump out of the way so he can start his world order, because there's nothing stopping him other than that. And get his son, the Antichrist, into power, because Satan knows he has not much time left. And the Antichrist, like I've been telling you, he's waiting. He's got his foot going up and down. Come on, I got to get in there. And he knows he doesn't have much time left. Like I have said, with our prayers, God will hear us and stop Satan dead in his tracks. That is a guarantee. So, how bad do you want Trump to stay in office? Don't tell me. Tell God. And tell him often until Donald Trump is sworn into office in January. Yes, I believe he will be sworn into office in January. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm not. Look, this is a serious time in America. And America is going through, I don't know how to explain it, but we'll probably not make it unless you continue to pray. We will win with America if we don't lose our faith. And some, I can tell your faith is wavering. I can hear it in your comments. And again, do not stop praying that God's will be done. Well, folks, I hope maybe that will help some of you. Just remember, there's still several more paths that Donald Trump can win. This is all, I believe, one big test for our faith, or in our faith. It's not for God to know your faith. It's to let you know how strong your faith is. That's what this is for. I believe that's what this is about. So it's up to you. It really is. People say, oh, it's up to... No. Yeah, it's up to God, of course, but he's left it up to you. How bad do you want Donald Trump back in office? Then show the Lord by your prayers and keep praying. That's what you got to do. All right, there's the old man of Gordon Bradley. If you like what you hear, I really do appreciate those thumbs up. I haven't got one yet this morning, but that's okay. I understand a lot of people a little bit upset at the news yesterday, but you don't have to be. I've already told you several paths for him still to win. It's not over yet. Those four words. It's not over yet. Just remember that. All right. Hey, thanks. Now, if you'd like to subscribe to me, I would greatly appreciate it. This is the old man, Gordon Bradley. Tell your friends, share it. I really think we need, yes, I think we need laughter. We need all the things we had before. We can't let this get us down. Now, listen, they've also got us all freaking out about this virus. Remember, 95% of all cases people live, and in most cases, they don't even know they have it. It's not what they've been telling you. I saw that and read that the other day. People like me are the ones who are going to have the problem, because I got severe COPD. I was told by the VA, oh, probably 3 months ago, I was feeling bad. It was hurting all down through here, my lungs and up through. And I said, uh-oh. And they told me I need to get the first care immediately down to Tampa because it really sounds like I have it. And I said, what's the point? What's the point? I mean, that was stupid of me, I know. But the VA told me, you get it, you're dead. Well, they don't know God. Well, look, here I am. And I believe, I really do, folks. I really do believe something was wrong that day because I very rarely have this hurt like it did that day. And when I coughed, it was like sandpaper, and I said, oh man, I bet you I do have it. That's why I called them. They said they also have, check this out. They said there's a number you could call if you're a veteran. They just started this. I don't know how they do it, but they can do excellent diagnoses now over the phone. Well, that's pretty cool. Um, I don't know, right after this virus thing started hitting, everybody was freaking out. I had an eye appointment because I had developed this sty on my eye. Well, you see the camera that you see me with, right? Well, the VA was able to hook up to my computer, and I was able to run my eye right up close to the camera. And the doctor was looking all around. He'd tell me how to pull it and all. And he told me, obviously, it was a sty and it will be all right and blah, blah, blah. And it was probably 3 or 4 weeks later. Jeez, man, that thing freaking hurt. But anyways, things are changing. But always remember, God was, is, and always will be the same. He'll never change. So when you're at your weakest point or your faith is wavering a little bit, he's standing right there. Just talk to him. That's that personal relationship that you develop with Christ. Just talk to him. Tell him what you're feeling. Tell him how you feel. He'll talk to you. Just listen. Just shh and listen. He'll be there. He's always been there for me and my wife. If you would look at how we're living, you wouldn't believe it. That's God. I wish you all could see it. This is Jesus Christ. You believe in him and you try the best you can to live for him and live the way he wants you to live. I stumble all the time. Don't ask my wife because she'll tell you. I do. I'm human, just like you. I stumble every day. But I ask God to forgive me immediately for it. And I move on. I try not to lay on the ground too long before I pick myself up. But I have a great woman that helps me through it, helps me. If it wasn't for God and my wife, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be dead. I would. Can't work anymore. My lungs are so bad, but God did tell me that he was going to heal me. This is what he said. I'm driving down the road in Maine. This was, I think it was 2012 or 13. Just as plain as day. I heard an audible voice. I'm going to heal you, and I'll let you know when I do. That was it. And as soon as he was done, the hair all over my look at it now. Well, you can't see it. Look, this goosebumps are just they are now. Just the hair and everything. No, there it goes. Look, just talking about it. The hair and then my head, my back of my. Let me tell you something. When God speaks, you will know. And there's pastors out there today, including somebody very close to me, that don't believe God can talk to you. You know what I told him? I says, I'm sorry, I don't think I'd want to worship a God that doesn't talk to me or help me or talk to me in a way that I can understand or hear him, because that's not God. But these people, they'll pound that pulpit that God can't speak to you. All the prophets don't exist anymore. They can't. Really? Are you kidding me? These are the people you need to stay away from because they're not preaching the full gospel. Even though they say they are, I don't believe they are. I never will. I believe these people went off the track somewhere in there in make-believe la-la land, and they're not right. You can tell by how fast their church grows if Jesus Christ is there. You know what they say? Well, the reason why there's not that many people here is because I preach the word, and that's why I don't have that many. No. If you were preaching the word, your church would be full. And you know why? Because the world is hungry for the word right now. So your story about my church is empty because I speak the truth is a load of bull. And it is. Some of these guys think they can get their pastor's degree offline and get ordained and stand in church and preach. Are you kidding me? You know what it used to be like? You had to go to school for 4 years. How can you sit in a chair and counsel someone about your wife's cheating or alcohol abuse or drug abuse when you have never, ever had a class in it to study, to learn on what to say to these people? Who do you think you are? You know what? I think they think they're God, but they're not. But you got to be careful what churches you go to now. Before, in the old days, and that's just 20 years ago or less, we could find all kinds of Bible believing, Bible preaching, gospel preaching churches. Now you got, I think it's over 1,000 churches a week closing, and the only ones that are left are the ones who think they're preaching the word. Some are, but some aren't. Well, anyways, this is the old man of Gordon Bradley. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our veterans. God bless our firemen and women. God bless our men and women in blue. If it wasn't for them, I don't know what we'd do. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be on later on if there's any breaking news, anything else happens. Remember, several different ways that Donald Trump can win. Also, I want to thank God, our first responders. We want to pray for them as well. Pray for our president. This is the word from the Lord. He's telling everyone to pray, pray, and pray. He's telling all the prophets to tell the people to pray and pray and pray for Donald Trump. If you don't, you may not like the outcome. So don't stop praying for Donald Trump. And God bless, and please pray for America. Okay, the old man will get back on later on. God bless each and every one of you. Take care. We will